Okay, so today what we are going to make is beet salad, roasted beet salad. Love this. So good for you. It's good for the liver, and it's so easy to make. And if you think that you don't like beets, maybe it's because it wasn't made the right way. So let me show you how. Super, super easy. We're going to go ahead and clean the beets. We're going to just clean them off. Then we're going to go and wrap them in aluminum foil. We're going to stick them in the oven as if it were a potato. We're going to let this cook like it was a potato. And then when we take it out, it's going to be super, super sweet and juicy. And then we're going to add the extra ingredients and the dressing, and you're going to be good to go. All right, so let's get on with it. All right, now that we have cleaned our beets and they're ready to go, let me show you what I do next. So here are our beet greens. This is what we snipped off of the beet, and you can actually use these greens to make greens like a collard or turnip greens. You can use these as well. You can also use this when you're juicing. So I'm going to go ahead and save these stems, but here are our beets that we've cut up and we've cleaned. Super, super easy. We take our aluminum foil, we take our beet and put it in. That's one. And that's two. You want to take one extra sheet and you'll put it on your pan, okay, on your baking pan. Put those on there, and we're gonna pop these in the oven. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the beets in the oven, just like a potato, and we're gonna put it on 425, and we're gonna bake it for 30 minutes. Then we'll go ahead and take a toothpick or a fork, and we will prick it, to prick it right into the beet to see whether or not it slides in easily. If it slides in easily, then you know that it's done. But at the 30-minute mark, go ahead and test to see whether it's done. And it's done when you feel a little squishiness in there. It's a little bit soft, just like a potato. And after 30 minutes, if it's not done, then go ahead and leave it in for another 15-20 minutes. Check it, and then test it in 10-minute increments. But it shouldn't take you more than, I'd say, about 45-50 minutes to make your beets. So once that's done, then you get to go ahead and let it cool, and we'll chop it up, and then we'll make the additional ingredients that go into your beet salad. All right, so we waited for our delicious beets to finish baking, and they did. Ta-da-da-da! There's our beets. So let's take a look at our beets. I want to show you the beets, and then I want to go ahead and show you all of the ingredients to make our beet salad. Okay, so here we have all of the ingredients for our beet salad. Now, these are chives. I use fresh chives. They're so delicious. I'm going to move that to the side. There are the chives that we're going to use. I cut them up nice and small. We are going to use a shallot. This is a shallot, and you could use a regular onion, but I like the taste of a shallot, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And that is the shallot right here. All right, let me show you the rest of the ingredients that I use for the salad. We're going to use some scallions. Those are your green onions, and they're cut up nice and small. And then I have a little bit of dried parsley that I use. Then I have some Himalayan salt. I use the Himalayan salt a lot. Don't forget that with Himalayan salt there is no iodine, so if you're lacking iodine, you should go ahead and use a different type of salt if you need that. And I don't use a lot of salt. Typically I don't like to use a lot of salt because it's not heart healthy. Just saying. Here is our freshly ground black pepper. And I've already showed you that this is, these are the chives that I've already cut up. Then I have a little bit of fresh parsley. I think that's delicious. And then we're going to use a nice squeeze of lemon. You can also use lime if you like. Then I just have a really nice balsamic vinegar that I use. And we may or may not use a dash of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. So let's get this party started. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up our dates that we roasted. Now remember, dates will definitely stain your cutting board, and it will stain your fingers, so just know that going into it. So I'm going to go ahead, and here's the other one. This is the other beet, and the reason why I roast them is because they turn out much sweeter. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and slice up our beets. You can do it chunky. You can chop this up a chunky cut, or you can do it a thinner cut. That's just my preference, is a thinner cut. And we're going to cut it up into cubes. All right, nice and simple. Doesn't really have to be uniform, but I'm just going to cut it into cubes. See how simple it is. That's the beauty of when you roast your vegetables, they get sweeter. I love that. Some people don't like beets because they say that it tastes like dirt. Well, you're either not washing it well or you're not using proper spices, just saying. But look at, do you see that? That's stained. So as soon as I put it in my dish, I am going to go ahead and rinse my hands. All right, so you see how this is stained? I definitely will want to rinse that. All right, so we're going to keep it there for a moment. I will wash my hands quick as possible. All right, let's take a look. My fingers are still red. Okay, so you can use gloves if you want to, but if I do a little extra scrubbing, this will come off my fingers. No big deal. All right, so let's go ahead and make our beet salad. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the shallots, and I'll put the shallots in there. You can use as much as you like, but I'm using roughly I'd say about a healthy tablespoon and a half. And then I'm also going to put on some green onions, some scallions, because I like the taste of it. So I'm just going to go and put a little pinch in there. And I'm using just as much as I like, okay? Next thing you know, I'm going to go ahead and put the dill in. Did I say dill? This is not dill. That's a chive. Good Lord, my memory just escaped me. So the chives, I'm putting in probably a good tablespoon of my chives. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of the parsley. So I'm probably taking about a teaspoon of the parsley as well. Putting that in there. I'm going to use just a touch of the salt. So there wasn't a lot of salt there to begin with. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a little sprinkle of the salt. And then I have my pepper. Freshly ground pepper. I'll do 2 little pinches of that. And then I have my dried parsley. I'm going to take a pinch of that and sprinkle it. Okay, so that was pretty darn easy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix it. We're just going to mix everything together. Look at that. It's already looking good. And to think how much you pay in the grocery store for a beet salad, a pre-made beet salad. It's so easy to make. All right, here's my beet salad. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a splash of my balsamic vinaigrette on there, and a splash, I'd say I'm probably putting about a teaspoon. We used our balsamic. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a lemon. Not a lot, just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on here. Directly on top. And the reason why I have my hand like this with the lemon is because if there are any pits, I don't want any of the pits falling into my salad. All right. So that's the squeeze of 1 lemon. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a dash of my extra virgin olive oil. You don't need to have this in there, so you can omit it, okay? Don't include it if you don't want to. I'm just going to go ahead and do about, I'd say, a half a teaspoon goes in there. It's looking lovely. And there, my friends, that is your delicious beet salad. The beets were on sale. The fresh beets cost me 49 cents per beet. So this is about $1. This cost me about maybe $1.10 in order to make this. If I bought this at the store, it would probably cost me about $6.50 to $8 for all of this deliciousness. That's how easy it is. All right, so can you believe how easy it was to make beet salad? Now what I'm going to do is, you never make anything without testing it, right? So what I'm going to do, people, I'm going to go ahead and test my beet salad. You guys, this is so good. There's my little bit. I'm going to finish this off, but it's really, really delicious. You can eat this by itself. There's my bigger bowl. There's my little tasting dish, but you can eat this beet salad by yourself, and it's very, very sweet because when you put it in the oven and you roast it in the oven, it takes on a nice sweet flavor. And then you can taste a hint of the lemon. You can definitely taste the chives, some parsley. You have just a light hint of the Himalayan salt, but it's so good for you. Eat this by itself. Put it on a salad. You can have some nice roasted potatoes with this as well, but very versatile, very good for you. And there you have it. There is your red beet salad. So if you wanted to go ahead and use the orange beets or the yellow beets, you can do it exactly the same way. Just remember that when you're using beets, it will stain your hands, it will stain your cutting board. You can always go ahead and get some plastic gloves if you like, but it's easy enough to scrub off. But there you have it, another delicious salad. I'll see you on the next video.